Well, good afternoon and welcome to Unity Orlando's midweek prayer and meditation time with Susan Francis and myself. Susan's a prayer chaplain and the vice president of the board. I'm Reverend Ronnie Kenney, the assistant minister at Unity, and we want to spend some time with you today. So we're going to take some time for a meditation and a prayer reading. So sit back, relax, and we're going to get started with Susan reading a daily word for us about healing.
Thank you, Reverend Ronnie. Today's daily word is healing. My healing is already within me. When I have a healing need, I do what is necessary to take care of myself. I begin by affirming wholeness, speaking words of love and healing to my body and mind daily. I take inspiration from Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore. When recalling her healing journey, Myrtle wrote, "I went to all the life centers in my body and spoke words of truth to them, words of strength and power. The presence of God within me is mine to draw upon as a powerful resource. When I picture myself, I visualize a being brimming with divine life. My every thought, word, action reaffirms this truth. I commit to keeping my consciousness centered on God and know I am always whole." And the Bible verse for today is John 1:4. "In him was life, and the life was the light of all people." And now we have Reverend Ronnie for our meditation.
Thank you, Susan. What a beautiful prayer to begin with. And so let's just relax even more. Take a nice deep breath. Oh, and feel yourself relaxing in the middle of the week or whenever it is that you're going to be watching this. And know that you deserve time for yourself. And this time will actually help you in any healing need that you have by taking care of yourself. So if you want, close your eyes, sit back, open your mind and open your heart. And as we do this, I want you to remember seeing somewhere in your life, because I'm sure you have, a flower growing through a concrete driveway or through wood or in places that there should never be a flower growing. How does that happen? Because the life energy in each and every one of us, whether we're flower or animal or plant or humans, is so strong within us. And at times it doesn't feel that way. At times we may be struggling with a health issue, with a situation that just makes us feel like there's nothing we can do about it. But I want you to know, at the depth of your being, we are not victims. We are not victims of this world. Oh, it looks like it sometimes. And when we're young, and in certain circumstances, yes, we are. We do become victims, but from that place, we always have the ability, when we reach down deep inside of us, for the truth of who we are, for the Spirit of God that exists in every cell of our body. Just imagine how many times we may have cut our hand over the years or whatever, or have had surgery or have had challenges, and yet our body comes back with healing, with a healing touch. It may take a little bit longer or a lot longer than we expect, but our body is always moving forth for wholeness. Healing is in every cell of our body. It's in the breath that we take. It's in the heart, our very heart that beats within us. Our bodies are made to grow and to heal and to be whole. We are one with God, the very God that is in the fiber of our being, in every cell of our body. We are not just human beings left on this earth by ourselves. We are totally human. We are totally divine. And yet, many times we forget about our divinity. We forget that our bodies, our spirits are made of the essence of God, of the very fiber of the being of God that we don't even know what that looks like. But what we do know is that when we focus more on the spirit within us, on that divine being, the divine entity that is within us, as we focus more on that rather than the human parts of us, we grow, we heal, we feel less pain. And when we are in pain, it is very difficult at times to move our attention away from that pain because it can consume us. And that's when we need to dig deep. That's when we need to go within and ask for guidance, ask for help. Say the words, I am willing, Father, to make a shift. Jesus called God Father, loving Father that is always available. Remember the story of the prodigal son, when the son went away and he turned back when he was so lost and had nowhere else to go. That turning back is a mindset. It doesn't even have to be a physical place that he went back to. He could have, he probably did. But what we need to do is make that shift. And we have some gifts that we can use to help us make that shift. And the biggest one, the biggest two, is gratitude is the first one. Always find something to be grateful for. If it's raining outside and you had plans to go somewhere, look for the rainbow. There's probably a rainbow or two in the sky. Oh, the plans we may have had might have to be changed, but we can find other things. But look for something to say thank you for. There's always, always, always something to be grateful for. And the more we look for it, the more it boosts our spirit. Because when we're down and we're in pain and we're in sorrow, all we're doing is circling the drain of unhappiness. And it makes it very difficult to pull ourselves out. We may need to call a friend. We may need to text someone or email them or call them on the phone. We may need to ask God to give you a sign. I need to know that you're with me. As Susan mentioned with Myrtle Fillmore, when she was going through her healing, she spent a couple of years, hours every day, praying, lifting up, turning things over to God. Most of us don't do that, but we can take moments every day, moments throughout the day, to remember who we are, blessed sons and daughters of God. The very essence of what God is made of is in our very body. And healing comes about as we call forth that healing energy that is always available, that is right here, right now, available, willing. All we need to do is activate it. And the other thing that we can do that is so very powerful is to forgive. Forgive ourselves. Sometimes when we find ourselves either sick or needing surgery or whatever may be our challenge, we may have done something to contribute to that. And we may be beating ourselves up. That's not helpful. That's closing the door on help that may be available to us. And so as we are willing to say, I forgive you, I let it go, I am willing to embrace the beauty of God within me. And that sometimes is tough to say because we don't always believe that. But that's the truth. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. As Jesus was hanging on the cross, dying, and the two thieves were next to him, what did he do? He lifted them up and told them they would be with him in paradise that very day. Jesus forgave those that did all those things to him. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, what does that mean? Oh, they knew what they were physically doing, but they didn't know who he was. They didn't know what they were doing. And so often we walk through our world almost unconscious, responding, reacting, and not even thinking through what we do. That's part of our humanity. That's part of our outer personality. And those are the things that we can let go of, that we can forgive, that we can know is not the truth of who we are. And every time we turn back to that spirit within us, that loving presence that is who we really are, we identify with the God within. We identify with the truth, and our body responds, just like that flower growing through the crack in the sidewalk. Our healing bursts forth. How often have we cut our finger and within a couple of days, it's gone. Our body knows what to do unless we stop it, unless we block it with our anger or our frustration or our hate or our unforgiveness. So take a deep breath right now again. Oh, and just let that excess negativity that might be running around your mind and your heart, let it go. Let it go. That is not who you are. That is not who I am. And so we constantly turn back to the Father. I am willing. Help me. Help me know the truth. Help me live the truth. We are God's heart. We are God's hands in this world. And we help lift others up, especially ourselves. And so at this time of our lives, whether we be young or middle or older, with the world's circumstances the way they are, we don't have to pay attention to them. We pay attention to our heart. We pay attention to the God, Father, Mother, God within. And so with grateful, grateful, grateful hearts, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. So, thank you for being with us today, for joining us again, for having a nice little break in the middle of the week or whenever you decide to watch this. We are very grateful. A couple of things to remind you. We're still having the food bank, the Zoom class for Course in Miracles, the men's group, the soul group. Reverend Bob's talk this Sunday is Living in Hope Consciousness. So this will be wonderful to come and see on Sunday. So let's end with a prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen.